Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to another episode of WIW's Revolution. It is good to be back. It feels like ages. Probably that's because it has been. I can't imagine how long it probably feels like for you guys. We kick things off tonight with, of course, the traditional 1v1 debut matchups and contract. You guys goes by. First man down to the ring, the self-proclaimed King of Kicks, Jay Temple. Now, Jay Temple has been on the list waiting for quite some time. Unfortunately, he calls himself the king, but unfortunately, we cannot give him royal treatment. He needs to prove that he can live up to that name, and he needs to prove that he can do that here tonight. Remember, only the winner granted a tier edition. No one gets a permanent contract until you're on the main roster, and that is where you're safe, unless, of course, demotion is imminent. But the King of Kicks, Jay Temple, has waited a long time for this opportunity. Can he capture this opportunity right now? Well, I know a certain someone who also goes by the name of the King that isn't going to be too happy about seeing another king walking into his proclaimed kingdom. His opponent tonight is none other than Mr. RJ Cosmo, I believe is how it is said here, and you can already see, look more cheerful here tonight. Then again, I mean, Jay Temple did come down with quite a big smile on his face. He knows that this is a big moment and he's out to impress. He's, does that say party on his shirt? Or his shorts there? Yeah, it looks like it. Well, this man, ready to go. Here tonight, he looks like he's ready to embrace the moment. This is all in, remember, this isn't attracting, you know, signing your deal. This is also about showing that you're worthwhile. This is about showing what you can do, and that could show immediately where you belong in the rankings. So we'll have to wait and see how he does here tonight, but he's looking pretty confident here, RJ Cosmo. But who will prevail and get themselves a WIW contract? The bell rings. There we go, and away we go. And straight away, RJ Cosmo straight on the fire there. Looking straight and sharp. Oh, look at that, though. There's a leg takedown. And RJ Cosmo and Jay Temple, they've got a little bit of competition after last week. If you remember last week, of course, Akari Himiyama won herself in an amazing match, a contract over Alexa Taylor. And those two really did put on a clinic. And I'm sure that's still fresh in the minds of everyone who watched the last episode. And so these two have got a bit of competition. Look at that. Cosmo got caught taunting as Temple retreated. And Temple now is going to take advantage. And that's the thing. Of course, you want to make a good fans, but you cannot afford to get distracted on such an important night. And there we go. The King of Kicks going to get straight to work there with his kicks on the drop kick. Nice, simple, and effective. And you can imagine with someone who can't call the Nat making wise. Back Cosmo all the way onto the ropes. But maybe it was strategical as Cosmo sends him over the top rope and then planting him down there. And RJ Cosmo going to go straight into the cover here. He thinks that's enough. It's only a 1. And Cosmo going to just try and keep him down here. He's doing a very good job. It's obvious what the target is here. The game plan is obviously to favor the kicks here from Jay Temple. You've got to imagine as he kicks again there. And that's the thing. You've got to limit him from kicking. And the best way to do that is to keep him on the ground. So far, Cosmo had that down. But right now, he's not going to the ground. He's going to the sky. Look at this. Oh, and a beautiful aerial falcon arrow. Very nicely done. And now Jay Temple just going to kick away at the legs of Cosmo. And Jay Temple hasn't had the most offense out of the two, but he probably has had the more effective offense. There's a nice spinning kick. Give himself some breathing room. Cosmo able to back him up a bit. RJ Cosmo does not want to let this opportunity squander. For remember, for one of these two, we might never see them again. So they don't want to waste any opportunities here. And RJ Cosmo gets some more offense in and plays to the crowd once more. And the crowd seem to be behind Cosmo, but right now Cosmo in a bit of a 50-50 battle here. Oh God, catches every rope there on the way up. And he's suplexed down. Now going to drag him to the middle of the ring where he might try for the cover again. That might not be the bad strategy. Remember, this is all about winning. It's great about showing off and you're showing what you can do. And if you don't win, you ain't going to get anywhere. What a suplex and bridging through as well. What an amazing move there by Jay Temple. Now Cosmo caught him off guard there as a bloody sharp suplex. He should be calling himself the king of suplexes because his suplexes are absolutely on point. Oh, but now Cosmo in trouble. Up on the shoulders. Oh, and a detonation kick by J Temple. Gonna drag him away from the ropes before making the cover. Is that going to affect the count here? The referee slow to make it. And it's a 2 count. J Temple looked confident there. He had that 1-1, but it was too close to the ropes. And that affected the count. But now up again, maybe looking for a second detonation kick. Yes, it is! A second detonation kick. But he's not done there. He thinks something else could get the job done. Cosmo in a bad spot. He has no idea where he is. Huge discus big boot to the top of the head. And RJ Cosmo has been defeated. J Temple, the king of kicks, living up to his name there with a spinning discus kick to get the job done and to win himself a WIW contract. Big win for the man here tonight. And oh, look at the face of Cosmo, who's back to his... What's he saying here? A sign of respect. And deservedly so. These two put each other through the paces, but unfortunately for us, wasn't enough. The king of kicks. It looks like we've got another king in the kingdom. And that could cause friction maybe when he gets to the main roster. But the King of Kings, J Temple, gets the job done here tonight. And he has guaranteed himself a Revolution temporary contract. How much of a big name will he become in this brand in the future, maybe in all of WIW? Who knows? The possibilities are endless. But the King of Kicks gets off to a fantastic start tonight. We'll see where his future lies in this company as time goes on. But it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, a rematch from last week, which we will talk a bit more about in a minute. But first, out to the ring, it is none other than the Money in the Bank winner, or should I say, Madman in the Bank winner, Franco the Madman Ricci, who brings his briefcase with him for the very first time. And Ricci is out here, and simply he requested a rematch. Last week, he lost to the unbeaten Prince Brent Diamond, and he demanded a rematch. He wanted to prove that he could get the job done. He wanted to prove that he isn't just a one-off winner with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Remember, Franco Ricci had to go through a lot to get this briefcase. Not only did he have to win the risk and reward match to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match, he then had to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And lately, there's been questions of whether or not he's ready for the leap up, whether or not he's going to blow it when he goes for the cash-in, because so far, he's only been a brief time with the briefcase, but he hasn't done anything spectacular, and he hasn't exactly shown himself, especially against Brent Diamond. But then again, this man is unbeaten for a reason, and that is because he has been absolutely phenomenal from the second that he stepped into the company, and he has continued to be phenomenal for an exceeding amount of time. Prince Brent Diamond more than happy to give this man the rematch. And because how great does it look? Imagine beating not once but twice Mr. Money in the Bank. Remember, of course, Ricci, none of this particularly would matter to him, you'd imagine, because he does have a world title shot literally in his hands. But at the same time, you don't want to lose, and of course, you're trying to prove a point. You're trying to prove you're ready to be the world champion. But right now, Prince Brent Diamond is making it clear that he doesn't believe he is. And Prince Brent Diamond has really brought the challenge. And many are starting to call Prince Brent Diamond a challenger, a #1 contender for the Revolution Championship with his unbeaten run. And I'm starting to think he is a really credible threat. He really is proving it. But it's a matter of now whether he can keep up that momentum and help build towards a already packed #1 contenders scene. Well, look at this. Before the bell rings, a handshake here. Okay, so there is still respect between the two, despite the fact the rematch is called. Perhaps Diamond saying that he's respecting the call for a rematch, but what a sharp start as the bell rings and away we go. And look at Diamond not wasting any time. And that is the thing with Prince Brent Diamond. The reason he's undefeated is because he is such a dominant threat. He just rushes out the gate. He doesn't slow down for anyone, and he's got some lethal attacks on him, and he's proven it out the gate. And for Frecky, of course, nothing is at stake in this match, but it's a matter of pride. Remember, it was only a couple of weeks ago where he won himself the Money in the Bank contract. And now, of course, he's back on Revolution, and his first match back since winning the briefcase was a defeat to Prince Brent Diamond. And of course, as you can see right now from the offensive Diamond, that's not exactly a huge loss. What a massive pop driver. Oh, God, but Ricci up to his feet. Mistimed the kick, though, just rushing in here. And this is the problem that I'm noticing here. Ricci has just been making rash decisions. He's been rushing into things, not thinking everything through, and that can cost you. And right now, he needs to remember this as well. He can call for these rematches, but he cannot get a rematch for the WYW Championship or the WYW Heavyweight Championship. Whatever title he wishes to cash in on, he only gets one attempt. So he needs to make sure he's not being rash with what he's deciding to do. Big DDT there, drilling his head into the apron. And Ricci, in a bad way, in a lot of trouble. There's an elbow drop to match. Beautifully done. And into the cover goes Prince Brent Diamond, and he knocks him off with ease. And Ricci clearly is just not in the same league as Brent Diamond is right now. Brent Diamond continues his unbeaten run here in Revolution. Absolute phenomenal performance. He flew out the gate. He didn't give a chance for Ricci to fight back. And unfortunately for Ricci, his night is over. And it's not the rematch to the point he was hoping to prove here. Unfortunately for him, but Brent Diamond, he proves his point that he is still one of the top stars here on the Revolution brand. And maybe a future title shot could be on the cards for this man. But a huge, huge victory for him once again against Mr. Money in the Bank. And Ricci needs to be careful now about what he does next. He can't afford to let all his anger and frustration from losing these matches affect his outcome, affect what he decides to do with the briefcase. But we'll have to wait and see in the future what happens. But it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Well, I had to take a break there. You may have noticed I developed hiccups halfway through it. But the show must go on, and we are okay for now as we move on to some tag team action here tonight. And out first, the team who made a huge strike last week by taking out the Immortals in an attempt to rescue Johnny Entertainment and DJ Assassin of the Party Express. It is Coda Fish and Keith Alexander, otherwise known as The Birth, coming to the aid last week, as they have done in the past. Like I say, they're no strangers to this. You may remember Coda Fish and Keith Alexander coming to the aid of Malcolm Black when he was under siege and under attack by Mark Williams and Amari Williams. So he's no strangers, these two, to doing this kind of thing. The hero work seems to be right up their alley. But they've targeted the tag team champions, and that's a bold claim. That's a bold statement to be making. So now Keith and Coda need to be making their statements known, their presence known in the tag division, and they need to rack up some wins. And tonight they have the first opportunity to do that in quite a while. So Keith and Coda Fish will be going here tonight, but they've got some tough opposition, and a team who have made their presence known over the last couple of weeks, pretty much ever since the build-up to Feast and Fired. It is these two of Mutually Assured Destruction, Duke the Nuke Rage, and Hank the Tank Pain. Now, originally tonight, they were not scheduled to be competing against these two. They were supposed to be, one of them was supposed to be going one-on-one with Zaza, as we've seen once before already in the last couple of weeks. But take a look at this backstage footage from apparently earlier on tonight, I believe before the show actually started. Look at what these two did, taking him out. You've only got one person on camera there, but you can imagine that both of them were there. Notice how Red was an attack, though, and Red wasn't even seen. I haven't seen Red in weeks. I don't know what happened. Red seems to have abandoned his goal to help out Zaza. Zaza kind of having to fight these two off on his own. But these two are here, and they are in tag team action against a real tag team for the first time in ages. And the bell rings, And away we go. And both these teams have done things to really try and stand out and make an impact over the last couple of weeks and months. Zaza, of course, the only man out of every tag team to be guaranteed a tag team title opportunity. But of course, Zaza has no partner. The closest he's come to finding one is Red. And like I say, Red has proven not to be too dependable. He did come and save initially Mutually Assured Destruction, but he doesn't seem to be acting as the security or the safety blanket because he's still getting ambushed. What a suplex there. And if I remember correctly, that is Keith Alexander starting us off, or Coda Fish, should I say. It's hard to really see the names on the trunks there, and of course we haven't seen much of the birth. But the glimpses we have seen, they're a very well-oiled machine. They take a very high interest in helping out other people and when they're in need. And now look at this beautiful teamwork. Super kick to the head. And we're not just done there. Look at this. Following through with a pedigree. Beautiful tag team working wisely. Tags out there. In comes Duke Rage. And flying in there with a clothesline. Trying to pull things back for his team. Oh, but only to be met with a clothesline. And the Birth are off to a great start here. Very promising out the gate. So Duke and Nuke Rage and Hank the Tank Pain, they've targeted Zaza, and that targeting still continues. They want to prove that they are the ones who are entitled to another opportunity. It should not be someone who doesn't even have a tag team partner. As for the Birth, they haven't had much tag team time in the ring, so I guess the way that they've been trying to make the name for themselves is helping out people, being heroes, being recognized, because if you can get other people to like you, then you're guaranteed to be up at the rankings. And hopefully they can turn that into a win tonight, because they are a team who've taken the instinct to help other people. Let's hope they can help themselves here tonight to a big tag team victory. Now, this is not officially a #1 contenders match, but you've got to imagine it's going to push one of them up there. Both these teams yet to actually collide with the tag team champions. And of course, a win here tonight against the team who did take out the tag team champions last week will move Mutually Assured Destruction up the rankings. And of course, MAD have actually looked fantastic over the last couple of weeks. A well-oiled team, very well thought out, the way they've gone about their business, and look at the way they're fighting their way back into this one. But the question is, can they keep up the momentum now that they're dealing with a real team? Of course, Zaza yet to have a partner, and every team he's had with him has been makeshift. It's not been a real partnership. So, of course, they've had that advantage there of the teamwork. There's a Russian leg sweep, very nicely done. So they have been working together here, but we'll have to see how they do. But Coda Fish, who is the legal man right now, as I've just re-established and gathered my bearings again, tagging in, and these are good, quick, frequent tags, trying to keep each other fresh up under the shoulders here. And Rage has him in a bad position for a big flapjack. He's trying to crawl away from that corner. It's proven to be a dangerous corner for him. Not a safe place to be. But Hank the Tank and Duke the Nuke, after a slow start, have really got going in this match. But as you can see, Hank the Tank feeling the effects of what he's had to deal with. And Duke staying in control right now. And now look at this. DDT! Very nicely done. Leg sweep as well. Nice and as clean as you're going to get. And straight into the cover. He thinks that's going to be enough here. Keith Alexander having to rush in to make the save, but it looked like he kicked out regardless. Oh, the referee gets taken out, and that could give these two an excuse to bully down the Birth right now. And not going to let it happen. Neither one of them going to let the other get the upper hand. And a nice little takedown and a kip up there. And that could turn the tide. Now can they take advantage? His partner's down. Hank the Tank Pain now left in isolation. Left alone here. And did you see that? Keith Alexander now trying to deal with Hank the Tank on the outside, but Hank ran away, and it's because he sensed maybe that the tides return, and there's a code breaker. Very nicely done. And all of a sudden, the Birth once again returning the tables. And the Birth made a brave move by taking out the Immortals. The Immortals so dangerous, still undefeated as tag team champions. Still undefeated full stop. They've been a fantastic team. And right now, they've just been on a mission, knocking teams off left and right. But Coda Fish and Keith Alexander seem to think they have an answer to it. They have the remedy. And of course, I'm sure they'd love a crack at the tag team championships. Of course, the only other teams to have shots at the tag team titles were, of course, Los Jefes Latinos And the other team, of course, was the Party Express, Los Jefes Vecinos, we haven't seen in quite some time, and we'll explain why in the next couple of weeks. I will be getting to that. That is something that will be addressed. But for right now, mutually assured destruction after the strongest start of the two teams, trying to make sure they keep the control in this match and keep it established. Tag is made. And now in a bit of trouble here is Keith Alexander. There's a drop, and there's an elbow to the back. And the teamwork, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The teamwork between these two have been brilliant. Hank and Duke are very much on the same page, but oh, what a move there! And straight into the cover. Is he going to be able to get in and save him? No, he's not! Just one shot, quick move, catches mutually assured destruction off guard. And the Buff take it. Huge win for Keith and Coda, getting the job done. Oh, God. Oh, no, look at this. And these two talking strategy, look at this. Wolf and Kay and the tag team champions, they're out here and they're begging for a fight. And look at both these teams bad-mouthing each other, and it looks like the champs really do want to have a shot at the Buff and have a fight and see if they can do that. Well, we'll have to see in the future if that means that the Buff are the next in line for a #1 contendership, or at least a title opportunity. But the Buff's huge win tonight could see them pilot into tag team championship range very, very soon, because they've definitely caught the eyes of the champion. Let's move on down the rest of the card. That was Malcolm Black feeling very confident. We do have developing situations in the world title, the Revolution title hunt, and we'll get to that when we get to the main event, which of course as we just spoiled for you there in the questioning of Malcolm Black. But now it's time to concentrate back on the women's division, and look who is out here first. It is Brianna Skeens, who has made some huge strides in the last couple of weeks, taking Gia Bianca out of the action a few weeks ago, and then last week beating Cody Hale, who, remember, of course, has a guaranteed women's championship match whenever she wants. The champ is rumored, supposed to be healthy enough in time for a title defense before having to vacate. LEJP has made it clear. But Brianna Skeens, she made some enemies in doing what she did, and now she has to put up or shut up. She did the job last week against Cody Hale, who's in phenomenal form coming into it. But now she has to deal with someone else who wants a piece of the action and who wants a piece of revenge. That woman is Katelyn Hall, who of course came to the aid of Brianna Skeens. Came to the aid of Cody Hale last week after Brianna Skeens went to beat her down with a steel chair after the match. And Katelyn Hall, of course, probably be very angry because the night of the Gia Bianca ambush by Brianna Skeens, these two were supposed to collide for the Women's Championship. Katelyn Hall was supposed to be cashing in her contractually obligated rematch clause, and unfortunately she never got the chance. So she'll be very pissed and eager for revenge here tonight. You saw the angry face, and she's straight in with the kicks as the bell rings, and we are on the way. Brianna Skeens has had some bucket loads of momentum. She made it clear last week that she's out to prove a point. She's out to say that she deserves to be in the front of the line. She's saying that she has the Skeens family right and that she should be at the top of the pile. Of course, that Skeens family has been very successful. Of course, Brad Skeens helping to lead Justice to the top of the Mayhem card. And of course, oh my God, what a kick! And hold on a minute, she's not done there! Straight jacket German suplex. And that is just showing the frustrations that Katelyn Hall has had. And so, yeah, Brad Skeens has his own thing to do. And, of course, she believes that it's her right to be facing for championship gold. And that WIW is running in her blood. And Skeens family blood as well at that. Katelyn Hall, of course, the first ever Revolution Women's Championship. Unfortunately for her, lost it at the Risk and Reward pay-per-view in her first ever title defense. In her second ever title defense, of course. She's defended it previously against Samantha Matua and Rachel Walker in triple threat action. She won it in a triple threat as well against Joyce Andrews and, I can't remember who the third person was off the top of my head. Into the cover, though. She's trying to get this one done after the attack from the top, only mustering just shy of a 2 there. Brianna Skeens, of course, like I say, knocked off some big names in the last couple of weeks. If she can add Katelyn Hall to that list, you've got to imagine, despite all the ambushes and despite the cheap shots she's taken to get here, you've got to imagine that actually does pilot her to the top of the list. Because, of course, Katelyn Hall has a guaranteed rematch clause. Cody Hale has a guaranteed title match. The only person who doesn't, out of all the people that she's faced, of course, is Gia Bianca, and Gia Bianca is the champion. So, Brianna Skeens, not inadvertently, this must be going exactly as she planned, because she is proving that she is a credible threat to everybody in the women's division. But right now, Katelyn Hall is really giving her the runaround. Of course, Katelyn Hall, also big part of WYW family blood. She, of course, the sister of Robert Hall. And the two sisters, of course, going out here. Robert Hall, of course, most recently in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Haven't seen much of him since. He's been very quiet. Now, I wonder if that's for a particular reason, because he's been making some big strides over the last couple of months. Well, we'll have to wait and see, but Skeens and Hall, not two names that you see colliding in the main roster very often, but these two names seem to be cropping up. Skeens maybe for the wrong reasons, but it's reasons that are getting her noticed, and that's all she'll care about, especially if she can rack up those wins when her name is being called. Oh my god! Nice little 360 clothesline there, almost into the corner. Try to get some space there with the kicks. Couldn't. And instead, now Skeens going to do it and get some separation with the kicks. Oh, God, what is this? Oh, using the ropes. And the referee's not even doing anything about it. The referee had no interest in getting involved there and getting in Skeens' way. And I get it, Skeens is a scary woman, but you got to tell her when to just stop. Because she is going to cause damage once again, working away on the arms. Oh, and in the chest area. That seems to be the clear target. And now Skeens, we know that she is a high-flying woman. Can she prove it again here? Oh, God, a massive fist drop from the top rope and into the cover. Is that enough to knock her out? It would have knocked me out, I could have told you that. But it's only a 2. Brianna Skeens in control, but right now can't find a winning ingredient, can't find a way to keep down Katelyn Hall. And Katelyn Hall now gonna try and find a way to keep Brianna down. Look at this! Oh! Nice little acrobat work there, but it was unable to connect. Oh, and into a brainbuster! Very nicely done by Brianna Skeens. What a counter, straight into a brainbuster. Is that enough to get her the win? 2 count. Brianna Skeens, so close to winning this, you feel. Katelyn Hall holding in and holding on, but she can't find any significant offense. Oh! Drills her into the apron there. Very nicely done. And now to the top. We also know that she can high fly as well. It was definitely in her resume when she signed up. But what can she produce from here? Calling her to her feet. What exactly has she got in store from here? Oh, God! Well, it looked like she was going for a Hurricane Rana, but she missed the connection. And that actually did not work out in her favor. And now Skeens, look at this, was waiting for her. Oh, but Katelyn Hall saw her waiting. She took advantage. Now these two scrapping out in the middle. Oh! That gets me every time. Skeens, family spear, but it's not enough. And look at Skeens' face. No one's kicked out of that yet from her. And look at the frustration. You see her holding her head in her hands. She could not believe that she's just kicked out. And now she's making her pay for it. Katelyn Hall doing everything in her power to try and stay alive in this match. But Skeens really is bringing the fight. Went for a kick to the head. Countered by Katelyn Hall, who gets her up. And, oh, plants her down with a bangarang. And Katelyn Hall refusing to give in here. And now look at this. Has the legs hooked, dragged her into the middle of the ring. And Katelyn Hall, do you see the smile on her face there? She looks like she's about to enjoy what she has in store. Look at this. A king of swing in the middle of the ring. Rhyming accidentally. Call me Chris Smooth. And look at that, plants her down. In trouble here. Is Brianna, is this enough for Katelyn Hall to get her? 2 count. Well, Brianna Skeens' little run of victories hasn't ended just there. But all of a sudden, the tide turns again. Katelyn Hall. Beautiful little lion salt there. Off the middle rope. And now Skeens needs something big. The spear did not get it done. Can a second brainbuster do it? It takes her down. Oh, but look at that. She isn't going for the cover this time. Now she wants to punish her and make her feel the pain. But right now, she's keeping herself alive. Oh, look at that. Went for a... It looks like she went for a cutter there. Couldn't connect. Instead got hit with a running cross body. And now Skeens doesn't... You know what? The Skeens family don't usually get a long run up. But she wanted to inflict more damage this time around. And Katelyn Hall has been wiped out. She put up an incredible fight, and she's probably the first person to kick out of a Skeens family spear. And she's Skeens family spear from Brianna, at least. What a fight between these two. You can sense the bad blood between the two. And Brianna had to work incredibly hard to get that one. There was the spear from out of nowhere, living up to the Skeens family legacy there. Katelyn Hall put on a huge fight back, and I thought for a long time she was going to get it. But unfortunately, in the end, she found a way, a bigger spear to get the job done. And Brianna Skeens continues her reign of tyranny, undefeated. A fantastic job once again. She's put the champ on the shelf. She's beaten two women who already have title opportunities guaranteed. And that is a huge, huge statement made by Brianna Skeens. Can she continue the incredible momentum she's been building up? And is LEJP actually going to reward these wins? Or will the earlier attack lead to her getting nothing? Honestly, I have no idea. But Brianna Skeens, you can't ignore her right now, because she is plowing her way through the women's division. Let's move on down the rest of the card. No surprise, Malcolm Black is confident. He's earned his confidence over the last couple of weeks and months. He is really proving a problem. Main event time, and it's a big main event because it is the return of this man, Johnny Black, who looks to have bulked up since the last time we've seen him. A bit of a change in style for this man. Johnny Black, if you'll remember, of course, came down to him and Amari Williams in the Revolution Royal Rumble that crowned the Revolution champion for the very first time. And could have gone another way. We could have been seeing a whole different side of things. But Johnny Black then went on to earn a #1 contenders match, in which he was then taken out by the Hitman for Hire, Mark Williams, who he finally gets one-on-one in the ring tonight. So a huge grudge match on his return to WIW and to return to in-ring action. Now, we have been told by doctors he is not at 100%, but he has at least been told he's allowed to compete. And look at the war paint he's bringing out tonight. This is clearly personal for him. And you can't blame him after everything that he's had to deal with and after everything that has gone on just to get this opportunity at fighting Mark Williams again. You can't blame him. He's still not 100%, but he was not waiting until Mark Williams could potentially become champion. Remember, next week... Oh, wait. Are you sure? What? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've just received word from none other than LEJP herself. The general manager has just confirmed that next week, of course, which is supposed to be the scheduled triple threat match between Mark Williams, Amari Williams, and Malcolm Black, is now a fatal four-way guaranteed, as Johnny Black has been implemented into the match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is insane news, and I don't know why LEJP didn't say this herself, but she told me to pass on the message, and that is what we're getting next week on Revolution's main event. The Revolution Championship will be contested in a fatal four-way match. Mark Williams, who is making his way down to the ring, is not going to be too happy about that. All he's been wanting since losing on a roll-up to Mark Williams, Amari Williams, is a rematch. But the Hitman for Hire has not been able to acquire one just yet. But he's got his chance to get one at the pay-per-view, but he has to now deal with 3 other people. And you can see in his eyes he's not a particularly happy man. A man who used to kill for a living. And now trying to end the career of Johnny Black in the process. The bell rings, and away we go. And this match now has even more significance. And God, I forgot about the sheer size of Johnny Black. We always knew he was a tall man standing at 7 foot. But Jesus Christ, it amazes me every time I see him in the ring. But like I say, he looks very different here. New hairstyle, some war paint being added as well. A much darker persona than we're used to seeing from him. But clearly that's because he's changed. Maybe that's because he's taking a more serious approach to the matters. Remember, Mark Williams, not exactly the safest person to step into the ring with. He is one hell of a dangerous fighter. Look at this. Oh, wait. Wait, what's this? Wait, Amari! What's Amari doing out here? The Revolution champion didn't want to wait. And look at Johnny Black daring him to come. And he is coming at him. He's bringing a fight to the big man. Trying to find a strike to bring him down. And he does. Oh, wait, no. Doesn't bring him down. Johnny Black has been declared the winner, but it looks like he's not getting much victory. Look at this. Williams. The two Williams working together again on Johnny Black, just like they did before. Oh, look at this. Or maybe they're not working together. This is all just an ambush from all ends. Trying to get one up before next week's Fatal 4-Way for the Revolution title, and Johnny Black making them all pay. Oh God, Amari, really? You start this attack and then start taunting? You were asking for that. And look at Johnny Black now bringing it back, attacking both of them, getting a bit of revenge. But now he's getting caught taunting, and Amari bringing the fight to him. All hell is breaking out in the ring between these three. And look at this. We're not done there, because now look who's coming to the ring. Malcolm Black is here as well. Malcolm Black and all four of the title contenders and are in the ring, squaring up. And look at this. Much smaller Malcolm Black getting rid of Johnny Black. Ladies and gentlemen, all hell has broken loose here. Remember, these four next week will face off for the Revolution Championship in a Fatal 4-Way. And anything will go then, you know that to be the case. But look at this. There is no friends in this one. There are no allies. No one to help Amari or Mark or anyone in this ring. It is every man for themselves. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try and get some law and order in here. And we're going to call it a night for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Be sure to tune into the next Revolution to see which one of these four men walk out the champion and who will manage to walk out alive at this rate. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like if you did, comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show.